Day. It's Christmas Day. So,
hello and welcome to day 3 of the Dietrich Gamecast 2013 Game of the Year Deliberations. I'm Jeremy Matthews. Here with me, Mitchell Dene, Chris McAfee, and Jessi Simmons.
Nice intro, Chris.
Mitchell didn't say anything.
I did.
I at least went like this.
Yeah.
You just went like...
That's what I'm looking for. So, last episode we chose our top 10 games of the year, but not the order. So, those games were BioShock Infinite, Papers, Please, State of Decay, Metro Last Light, Grand Theft Auto 5, Pokemon X, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Tomb Raider, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and The Last of Us. Now, this episode we are going to set numbers 10 through 6. So, the first thing we have to do is find the worst game on this list, which is Pokemon X.
Yep.
Chris?
It's a battle between Pokemon and Papers, Please.
It's not Papers, Please. There's no way. Papers, Please
I will say Pokemon...
was an innovative, interesting game.
did not like that game.
There have been so many Pokemon games that are exactly the same.
You guys are on opposite sides of this. Like, you're like, I love Pokemon but hated Papers, Please. And you're like, I love Papers, Please but hated Pokemon.
And I hated
Okay.
both.
So,
I like both.
if me and Chris are on opposite ends, I feel like we've made our arguments. Mitchell and Jessi, can you guys agree on a tiebreak here?
I will say Papers, Please does bring something new to the table. It is innovative. It's different. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely makes you think.
The left side of my back.
One of the things I will say is that it is boring. That is my one thing to say about that. That's like the bad thing I have to say. All the other things are good, but it is just boring. It's
So
boring.
What are you thinking here?
Pokemon. I've never really been into Pokemon. I think Pokemon is for people who have grown up with it, and that's why they like it. Because
Yes,
it's just Pokemon.
But I don't think it's
But
interesting now.
It's
Like, you see the Mario games and they've evolved. You see the Zelda games and they've evolved.
not
the Pokemon
so-
games,
really.
not really.
Mario
Mario's
has
still the exact
yeah.
same thing.
I
No,
have to
not
say,
a, Super Mario Galaxy. You're jumping between the planets. I think that's evolved more than Pokemon has.
I don't know. I'm tired of all three of these.
Sure,
Um,
but you're not tired of Papers, Please.
this, Pokemon. I played. I played one Pokemon, and
I played Crystal, which is
yeah, and it was boring.
fourth.
All right, so Mitchell, are you landing on a side of this?
I like paper. I think I want to go with Papers, Please because it is innovative and it's new, but
Okay,
it is
Jessi?
boring.
Well, I played the beta for Papers, Please. I haven't played Pokemon in a really long time, so I don't know what Pokemon X was like.
You remember the Pokemon you played?
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's 3D. Sometimes.
And there's
What
like
else did they change from that?
400 new Pokemon.
Would you say? Like
The Pokemon are
if you
worse
had to
now, though.
explain,
I don't even know.
They
Pokemon.
added the new Pokemon. They changed up the concepts. There's
What's the
wonder
story like?
trading. What's the story?
That doesn't matter. Come on.
You don't focus on story in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Not really.
That's why it's boring.
You're agreeing with me, and I even think that's an unfair criticism to criticize the story in Pokemon.
Papers, Please was a. I don't like. First of all, I'm just gonna say I don't think Papers, Please should be considered for like the 10 spot here because I think it was a fun game. I didn't play the other ones. I'm gonna point that out. Like there were a few games that I played on this
I want to
list.
say Papers, Please should not be in the top 5, but don't think it should be 10.
Okay, so are we looking at Pokemon X for 10? Do the three of us agree?
Go for it.
I agree.
Okay, number 10 then.
It made the list. That's way better than it should have done. You've done well, Chris.
You're not happy with that, are you?
Not really. No.
I wouldn't be if I was him. If that had been Papers, Please, I would have been furious. Number 9.
Papers, Please.
I'm going to say Splinter
Tomb
Cell
Raider.
Blacklist.
I was going to go with Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I think Tomb Raider's better than that.
I think Blacklist had a much more fun multiplayer.
I don't think Blacklist... I feel like Blacklist is just them reverting back to the old Splinter Cell style. I don't think the...
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I don't feel like the innovation's there.
Well, they took two playing styles from two different kind of games, and they added them together. And I didn't play much of I didn't really play the campaign, but I played the multiplayer for a super long time. I had so much fun playing it, and I played a little bit of the Tomb Raider multiplayer, and
I'm writing out the Tomb Raider multiplayer.
yeah.
The single player campaign is very interesting. It goes for a much darker tone. You can watch Lara Croft get impaled like 100 times if you want to.
Thank you.
Right. So it looks
I feel like Tomb Raider took a lot of risks where Splinter Cell did not.
I see. The thing is that I do like the Tomb Raider story. It is a great story. It's interesting. It revives the whole series. It goes places that the other Tomb Raiders have not.
I feel the same way about the gameplay.
Yeah, the gameplay is definitely
The
good.
shooting's
There's
much
not,
better.
and it's not all about shooting.
Yeah.
It's about
traversal.
outsmarting your opponents, using the environment against them.
Yeah.
I will say though that Splinter Cell is always fun, and the multiplayer. I could spend hours playing that multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
You learn the maps, you learn where to go, how to hide, what to do, what gadgets you want to use, guns, stuff like that. It's just so interesting, and it's so much fun.
But that was all already there before this one.
Not really. No, they didn't really have a good multiplayer.
Sure they did.
No, they brought.
Double Agent? Come on.
No, this is
Come on.
this multiplayer is something new. It's so much fun.
I feel like there's a clash between single player and multiplayer.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I really like the single player on Tomb Raider. Didn't like the multiplayer. I really liked the multiplayer on Blacklist. Single player was,
The point
I
I'd
didn't play
make
the single player.
yeah.
The point I'd make is that Tomb Raider, the focus was clearly on the single player. I don't think Splinter Cell was really focused on the multiplayer.
Well, you
In terms
played
of
the single
position.
player, right?
The single player was great. I liked it. It was a lot of fun. You had 3 play styles. You go through without touching anybody, without nobody knowing you're there, or you could just gun your way through. And it was a lot of fun. I played through the whole game without firing a shot, which was very hard, but still a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a satisfying game.
Yeah.
I won't argue that. But I feel like Tomb Raider is also a satisfying game. And that it feels like a fresher experience.
But you see, the thing is here is that Splinter Cell brings 2 things to the table, whereas Tomb Raider only brings single player.
I feel like the multiplayer in Tomb Raider is
sucked.
fine.
I did not like it. It was It was confusing. You just get dropped right in. Not much going on.
The thing I'd argue is that I'm sure the Splinter Cell single player is good, but I haven't heard anything that differentiates it.
Well, it's just a matter of which 2 are better. Is it the single player and the multiplayer in Splinter Cell, or is it the single player and the multiplayer? Because the single player can be...
I feel like there's a fundamental thing here.
'Cause what
are we judging a game on what it does well, or are we judging on the entire package? Because if we're looking at Grand Theft Auto 5, I have half a mind to just eliminate GTA Online completely.
Same.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could do the same for Tomb Raider.
Yeah, are we looking for single player or multiplayer?
I feel like we should only consider these multiplayer modes if they add to the game, like in Splinter Cell's case.
Considering that all of these games are all single player, except for Blacklist and Tomb Raider.
And Last of Us.
And GTA. I think we should just eliminate multiplayer.
Well, no, we'll look at it when it benefits the game. But I feel like in Tomb Raider's case,
Well, I mean, I do
it's not
have
a
some
big
gripes
issue.
with the Splinter Cell multiplayer. Like how they got rid of Michael Ironside's voice as Sam Fisher.
Yeah.
That was annoying.
Yeah, I feel like...
In Conviction, you're 60 years old.
Yeah.
And then in Blacklist, you're 35.
I feel like the reboot for Splinter Cell was handled a lot worse than the Tomb Raider reboot.
I agree with that.
In terms of, story and resetting the franchise.
I agree with that.
I don't know, Chris, what would you think?
Yeah, sure. It was a good game, but I don't know if it warrants it being high on the list.
So we're going Splinter Cell?
Splinter Cell for 9?
Okay.
And then
I feel like it's very close.
Yeah, I'd say Splinter Cell 9, Tomb Raider 8.
Splinter Cell 9, Tomb Raider 8?
I did like the single player in Tomb Raider. It was very interesting. And it's going to spawn a whole new series off of it.
I can't believe I snuck Papers, Please past both those games. Nice.
I think this is where Papers, Please comes to an end.
Do you feel like State of Decay is too high?
I was going to say that.
Papers, Please or State of Decay. Either of those.
I almost feel like Tomb Raider and Splinter Cell should move up past State of Decay.
Sure.
Yeah, I think State of Decay 9.
And then
Splinter
Cell 8, Tomb Raider
7. Papers, Please 6.
Now, I'm kind of going against myself here, but 3 people here don't like Papers, Please.
Yeah.
How about we go State of Decay 9, Papers, Please 8?
Yeah. I agree.
I feel like that's a better representation of
I don't know.
our
'Cause
consensus.
I'm not saying I didn't like Papers, Please. I'm just saying I don't think it's one of those games that would be a top 5 of the year kind of thing.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Move it down.
I don't think Grand Theft Auto as a whole game should be in the top 5. We should just, because the multiplayer ruined that game.
I don't know. The multiplayer, we had fun for a while, but
For
it
a
does
while.
get
It was
repetitive.
so
It does
glitchy,
get
though.
it's glitchy and it gets repetitive. But for
The
the
single player was amazing. I loved the single player.
single player was fun, and
I feel like Grand Theft Auto is a better package than half this list,
But
even with the multiplayer.
I was just pissed off with the multiplayer.
they've also, I mean,
But gameplay wise,
They did-
it seemed like GTA 5. Like I didn't get to play a lot of it. I played it at friends' houses and stuff, but it seemed like it did step up from GTA 4.
it was
And I
fun.
played a
It's
lot
a
of
better
GTA.
game
the
than
thing is,
GTA 4.
the thing is with GTA 5, if you play the online, you have to play with at least 3 or more people, and you have to be doing something interesting.
And not play with Mitchell, who just stands by strippers.
And
Otherwise,
just starts gang wars
yeah.
for the whole game and just stands outside of someone's house for hours, waiting for him to come out, even though he's not there anymore. He left, and he just doesn't look at his map.
I feel like Grand Theft Auto is above the conversation we're having right now.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll put it at 5.
We'll get there.
We'll see about that.
I think so. State of Decay is 9. Papers,
State of
Please is
Decay
8.
9. Papers, Please 8.
Papers, Please is nice because it's innovative, but it's
I feel like 8 is a good spot. It's
But,
higher on
yeah.
my personal list, but, still
But I
no
just thought that
compromise.
the part where it's boring, it just really.
So then we're at 6 for Tomb Raider and 7 for Splinter Cell?
Yeah.
So our top 5 potentially is Bioshock, Metro, Grand Theft Auto, Assassin's Creed, and Last of Us.
I'm good with that.
Does
Okay.
Assassin's Creed feel a bit high?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah.
about that.
I don't know.
But does it take over Tomb Raider's spot?
I liked Tomb Raider better than Assassin's Creed. I will say that right now.
From what you said, which was it's like Uncharted, I would be very willing to put it higher.
I will have to say the only things that Assassin's Creed has brought that is new is the open world
Yeah.
and the ship battles.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the ship battles are so amazing.
Can you die of scurvy in that game?
I don't like the ship battles very much,
You don't?
if I'm honest. I felt like that was the worst part of the game,
Really?
honestly. Because it's just kind of clumsy, and of course, ship battles have to be, but I still didn't feel like it was super fun to do. It's interesting as a side activity, but,
I will give you that. I will
so is
say
the
that,
whaling.
I will say that it is it's like Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
Except for those two.
Just take it off the list then.
There's nothing totally new about it, and the multiplayer was pretty much the same as the other ones.
I hate Assassin's Creed multiplayer.
It's okay.
I like it a lot.
It's
I
fun.
don't like it.
You can't play
it's
too
unique.
much of it.
From what it sounds like, Assassin's Creed goes in at 6, and Tomb Raider moves on.
I can agree with that.
I'm good with that.
Are we okay with Assassin's Creed above Splinter Cell?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Metro. I don't know
Metro's
if that.
easily in the top
I
five.
don't know about
I liked
that.
Metro.
It's top 5.
I liked Metro a lot.
Oh, we have a person at the door. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be back.
Is for 2013 is in case you're seeing this in the future. Is GTA 5 because that's the only game I played, other than Plants vs Zombies 2, Electric Boogaloo, and story mode is quite perfect really. Multiplayer, they had a few problems. They haven't released Heist yet, unless you're watching this in the future. And yeah, thank you.
Go.
All right, we're back. So you guys are convinced Metro Last Light top 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it goes in at 5, it's still a top 5
Okay.
game.
So we're landing at Tomb Raider is in the top 5,
Yeah.
and Assassin's Creed is not.
No.
Yeah.
So Assassin's Creed is at 6.
Yes.
I feel like I'm all right with that. I almost feel like it's a little high for Assassin's Creed.
I don't know. I really
Sort of.
enjoyed it.
Like, from what you guys say of Splinter Cell,
I could switch Splinter Cell.
it sounds more
Assassin's Creed.
interesting. And also, I feel State of Decay is a little low now. I'm conflicted.
I say move Assassin's Creed.
I'd almost
up
wanna put-
and switch it with Splinter Cell.
I'd almost want to put Assassin's Creed at 9. And then Splinter Cell 6, State of Decay 7. How do we feel about that?
I agree.
Yeah, because I feel like Assassin's Creed doesn't add that much, and I like what
It's-
State of Decay did better.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed is just more.
It's still the
Ship
same
battles.
concept, just different area, and
I'm
Okay.
good with that top 10.
it's not a top 10 yet.
Yeah, that's the...
I'm good with that top.
It's the upper
10
part.
to 6.
Okay. So, at number 10, Pokemon X. Number 9, Assassin's Creed 4 Black
I'm fine
Flag.
As long as it's in the top 10.
Number 8, Papers, Please. Number 7, State of Decay. And number 6, Splinter Cell Blacklist. Are we all good with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Next episode will be our final episode of the year. And we will name not only our number 5, number 4, number 3, and number 2 games of the year, but the Dietrich Gamecast 2013 Game of the Year. Tune in tomorrow. We'll see you then.